how has rapid evolution of technology, we talked about a little bit, that
Yeah.
technology transformed project management in your field,
Hmm.
and what emerging trends are most exciting or impactful for managing complexity and driving efficiency?
Hmm. So when we talk about technology and construction, you know what they say about the construction industry? They say
Hmm.
it's a dinosaur.
Very
So it sounds like an unlikely romance, but the truth is that technology is impacting in a really positive way the industry. And I think that there is a concerted shift in an industry that doesn't particularly like change,
yeah.
um, alongside other issues that are happening that's forcing us to rethink how we build and what we build. Um, but Dharam, coming from a generation where high tech was a fax machine
Yeah.
and having a Walkman was hip. You imagine that I've seen this evolution firsthand to start with. I am a prop tech and contech fan. I'm a firm believer in that. In those, I've invested in a couple of startups in that space. So I really do embrace technology, but I embrace it with a little bit of caution. When it works, it's fantastic. But we also don't then rush into every piece of technology and try to adopt those. If I think about it, when we started doing project plans, my first project plan was, a print,
Yeah.
large print, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And the print was dog-eared, and we had to annotate on it, because you would use it to the max before you go and make a fresh print, right? But today we have tools like building information modeling, right? So our plans are not just drawings anymore; they are now almost alive. This is the way that I say it. They're breathing documents, if you like, e-documents. And what would have taken ages to resolve on a site. I mean, as a project manager, one of the most dreadful meetings that I had as a young project manager was the coordination meetings with the consultants. I mean, it was so much head butting and so much. Nobody wanted to give up on anything. And now what I find with BIM is that all these things are resolved at such an early stage, and then we avoid all the fights either in our meeting rooms or on site, where we have to then spend so much money to correct errors that have been made that were not picked up because the coordination physically, I mean, was not 100%. So I in that regard, I like it. And again, I will speak about drones. I mean, we call them the flying inspectors because they're probably better at inspecting than we are, from the perspective that they have no biases to start with. So I mean, they're just giving you exactly what it is that is there. Their impression is not colored by anything. So I like what we're able to do with drones, and the images that we're able to generate and the assessments that we're able to do. And in fact, what is even more interesting is keeping track. I mean, you can position a drone in the exact same location every week for 4 years on a project, and then you have these images of
Mm.
how this project has progressed
Well,
over that time. Just those things are really really exciting for me. I'm a data person, so I am enamored by what big data can do as to how we manage our projects. What I've seen, and we haven't deployed that yet, but the platforms that are tracking resource utilization, they're already tracking environmental impacts of the projects that we're working on. The basic things like supporting parking management. I mean, we know those, right? But how about when it comes to technology that will let you know when, for example, as a facilities manager, that your light bulb has 2 days of life left left in it, as an example. you know so those are things that I think are exciting for the future. But again, I remember that technology is a tool and not a brain. So we really
Yeah.
have to be mindful of that and put it into place. You mentioned the Internet of Things.
Mm.
The rate at which buildings are collecting and utilizing data is incredible. I mean, we
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
And so it's almost scary actually, because what was basic before. I mean, just the idea that a building i- can speak and can support you to make decisions is also is an incredible thing. I think what technology has taught me overall is that with tech, we can do things maybe faster, maybe safer, maybe more efficiently. But I don't know that it can ever replace the human element. There's something about, an experienced project manager, the gut feeling that you can have sometimes over certain issues, that cannot be replicated
Yeah.
by some AI tool. So my advice always is very simple with my team who is really aggressive about tech. I've said, well, we'll embrace the technology, but let's not forget that we cannot replace it with the wisdom that we have from experience and from learning. Yeah.
Mm.
The final comment on what's emerging. I think for a project manager, decision making is such a critical thing. Yeah. At the end of the day, you've got your team and all that, but a lot of times you find that the buck stops on your table. And so I'm intrigued by what AI can do in that space. I was reading some time ago that AI is being deployed in the process of selecting contractors.
Ah.
And that's, oh yeah, and that's interesting because they're now able to use big data to make some kind of predictive analysis as to how a contractor is likely to perform. That's absolutely exciting. Oh yeah, yeah. So so
This.
things so things like that supports and make the work of the project manager that little bit easier. I'm all for it.